I'll stick with Romania.
The second one to go. So Slovenia goes first, and then I will come to you. Okay? Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Oh, you can smile.
No.
You can smile. You trying to bite it so bad.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Manila, here, the Mall of Asia in the Philippines. This is the FIBA Basketball World Cup, and it's the fourth quarter final between Canada and Slovenia. It's showtime, folks. That's the only way to put it when you know who is in the house. Slovenia taking on Canada. That means Luka Doncic is here, and the fans are screaming his name whenever they see him on the court. But Slovenia is going to be taking on a very talented Canada team also that is loaded with stars. This is going to be a great event. I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Mike Taylor. And really, the hair on the back of my neck is standing up right now, Mike.
Yeah, this is what it's all about right now. We have a fantastic matchup for this quarterfinal game. How much can Luka Doncic do to lead his team forward? All eyes will be on him, the most efficient player in the World Cup to this point. He will be at the focus of this Canadian game plan, and everyone wants to see that Luka Doncic show.
Well, they're running out, they're being introduced, and Slovenia, of course, went on that great run to get to the 2020 Olympics. It was actually played in 2021 in Tokyo. And we thought they were going to have the big run last year at the Eurobasket, and it didn't materialize as they went out in the quarterfinals against your former team, Poland. But here they are, knocking at the door here in the quarterfinals. Can they get past this difficult game? And I guess you'd have to say Canada are favorites coming into this.
I would agree with that. You know, this is a different Slovenia roster from the Olympic run or from years past. There's no more Goran Dragic. There's no Vlatko Cancar. There's several key players that are missing. But make no mistake, this is a deeply talented Canada team, and they have every intention of defending Luka, making him work for every inch on this floor, and playing to their strengths.
Well, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, probably the front runner for the MVP award when you talk about Canada. And Luka obviously would be it for Slovenia, but games have to be won before we get to that point. You would think it would end up going to the team that does win it all, but you never know. We saw Dirk Nowitzki last win it back in 2002 when Germany got third place, but that's not important to these guys. These guys want to experience history. They want to get their countries to the semifinals for the first time, and they want to get to the podium.
Well, for Canada, this is a great step forward here. This is a team that has potential to reach the next level. For them to be here in the quarterfinals is a great thing, and you can see the potential. The game of basketball continues to grow, evolve, and develop. So many players in the NBA for Canada, so many players overseas from Canada, and look at this star-studded roster they have. They're ready for this challenge before them with Slovenia.
Well, Canada have certainly had to win some tough games in this competition. But anyway, in the quarterfinals so far, Serbia winning over Lithuania convincingly, and the same for USA against Italy. We just watched a barn burner between Latvia and Germany that Germany won. Latvia had a chance to win it at the death, and they missed the shot. So here we are, USA against Germany in one semifinal, and now the question is, will it be Canada or will it be Slovenia that faces Serbia in the other semifinal? We're going to pause for the playing of the national anthems.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Canada.
What a big moment this is for, I think especially the fans of Canada. They're excited about their team, about their prospects. It's something that, you know, we've always said, if Canada can put it together and get everybody here, they're going to be a tough nut to crack, and that has been the case. They've been knocking off one good team after another at this World Cup.
Yeah, they're in top form. They have every opportunity in front of them.
Roberto Vasquez from Puerto Rico is the crew chief in the middle. Manuel Mazzoni on the right from Italy, and Gatis Silens from Latvia on the left. So they will be doing the refereeing, and we'll get a look at the rosters and the starting fives for both of these teams. But Slovenia, you know, they've been knocking on the door for a while now, so they're used to these moments. You would think, you know, this isn't going to be a stage too big for them, but I think it's easily Canada are ready for this moment, because they've already proved in this World Cup they can beat the big teams. You can look at Chip in place. That is one impressive mascot, I have to say. That's maybe the most impressive mascot I've ever seen.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big Chip guy.
Wait till you see his disappearing act.
Oh.
That's going to be soon, so you just have to wait. I think you'll know when it is. So for Slovenia, the starting five, it's going to be Alexei Nikolic, Mike Toby, Zoran Dragic, Bine Prepelic, and Luka Doncic. Žiga Samar, Clement Prepelic, Jaka Blazic, Gregor Horvat, Žiga Dimec, Gregor Glass, and Chabasic coming off the bench for Alexander Šekulic. And it remains to be seen if we will see Blazic. He's been injured and one of the most important players in that team, but there is one guarantee that we're going to see this guy who goes by the name of Luka Doncic.
What you love so much about Luka is he makes his team better, makes his teammates better, raises their game. Again, he's the most efficient player in this World Cup, #1 scorer, doing such a fantastic job with this team. And again, he's got a great complementary piece in center, Mike Toby. Toby can shoot from three. He can pick and roll to the rim. He can post up. He's been an outstanding addition to this Slovenia national team. But again, how far can Luka carry this team? How far can he lead them?
Funny, Mike, you know, we get all the celebrities that come out to watch the USA. They line up the seats right in front of us. You know, they bring out extra rows of seats for actors, actresses, musicians, influencers, whatever. And I just saw a couple wearing number 77 Mavericks jerseys. They're here to watch Luka Doncic. So Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Dwight Powell, R.J. Barrett, Kelly Olynyk, the captain, Dylan Brooks in the starting five for Canada. Lou Dort, Alexander Walker, Edgem, Alexander, Edie, Scrub, and Trey Bell Haynes coming off the bench for Jordi Fernandez. And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, as good as advertised.
Yeah, he's a rising star in the NBA and also here at the World Cup. Outstanding work ethic, outstanding character, one of Canada's future stars and current stars. He'll be fun for fans to watch, and a great matchup with Luka Doncic.
And R.J. Barrett, What a great talent. His dad played at the highest level, obviously at the Olympics, and here's RJ Barrett now. Feels like time has just flashed before my eyes because I remember watching his dad play not that long ago.
Yeah, and Rowan now the general manager of this Canadian national team, as we see Jordi Fernandez. Again, Jordi had experience with the Spanish national team as long back as 2013 at Eurobasket, and he's done a fantastic job throughout his NBA career with the Nuggets and now Kings. And he kind of has taken over for Nick Nurse and done a really good job here at this first World Cup. But many ways, this Canadian roster is going through a transition like the United States. They're going through the adjustments to the FIBA game, and at times their shot selection has been challenged, but they have all the pieces. They have an athletic lineup. They have several bodies that they'll be able to throw at Luka Doncic tonight, and they have individual scoring. So it's going to be a great opportunity for Canada in tonight's game against Slovenia.
So Canada come into this game off the high of their win over Spain. Slovenia come into this after the low of their beatdown by Germany.
Yeah, mentally, you know, sometimes you bounce back from that edge, but also too, sometimes that confidence can help you. It'll be really interesting to see how both teams respond here tonight. I just expect Canada to throw a lot of bodies at Luka, be really physical with him, and I'm really interested to see how that supporting cast for Slovenia can step up in today's game.
Well, we know that Canada have the talent. Do they have the international experience? We're about to find out. How about Jit, meanwhile, twisting the time cube, and this is where he does his disappearing act. Look at that. Wow, he's gone.
Is that a black hole?
That's something like from another galaxy.
Double hand up, turn the corner real hard, get here. Otherwise, you'll have 1, 2, 3, and glide to the rim. We got it. Here goes, start strong. Together on 3, 1, 2, 3.
That's incredible to think it's their first quarterfinal appearance. Meanwhile, Slovenia, their third quarterfinals appearance at the FIBA Basketball World Cup. And with Luka Doncic on board, it's their first.
And he's taking Slovenia to new heights. Obviously, the Olympic Games, the World Cup. This is a special talent, a special player. He's the show. And now, Canada, in their first World Cup appearance, will have to face that challenge. We have a great game on tap right now, Jeff.
Clash of Americas against Europe. Clash of two teams with some big names and a very important semifinal berth at stake. The winner will take on Serbia in the semifinals at the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome. Slovenia with a chance right off the opening tip to get a dunk from Zoran Dragic, and it did not go down for him. So Canada, who lost that opening tip, now attacking the basket to the right, wearing the white uniforms. And Shai Gilgeous, I might be the MVP by the end of this tournament. Alexander makes the jump shot.
And right from the start, Dylan Brooks matched up with Luka Doncic. Outstanding NBA defender.
The crowd excited whenever Doncic gets his hands on the ball. Here's Dragic. And again, his attempt is off, and quickly RJ Barrett brings it up the floor. Getting it deep, puts it up, and you don't get the rebound. Here goes Shai, and he's fouled by Alexei Nikolic.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets where he wants with the ball. One-on-one, so difficult to guard. Outstanding driver. You see him use his body, gets leverage, draws the foul. Challenging matchup for Slovenia.
So it was indeed on Nikolic. Here goes Brooks, whose nickname is the villain. At least at the World Cup. He embraces that role. The ball goes out of bounds. And back to Slovenia. So the key, Mike, is that with Doncic, we know he can score, but he can do so much more. And what he usually does is what's needed to win.
Right, and here he is playing off the ball to start the game. They bring him into a scoring position. Canada switching pick and rolls initially.
Powell on him, no-look pass, Alexei Nikolic from the right! And Slovenia go in front. Here's Shea, gets some space and puts it up and in. Silky smooth.
Easy two. Again, Nikolic, smaller, really working hard, flies right by, easy pull up, unguarded jumper.
Doncic going between the legs, steps back, puts it up against his Mavericks teammate and scores! Another three for Doncic.
And Jeff, that's his game. That step back jumper is just natural for him.
And Nikolic with the foul in the backcourt. And if it is, that's his second. So looks like they're going to leave him in. Nikolic, it's a cheap foul to give away, but look at this.
Yeah, and down the other end, if you watch Dylan Brooks and again, Dwight Powell, they were both hand checking and hit Luka. Luka talking with the officials like, hey, if you're calling that on Nikolic, what about the same call down the other end?
R.J. Barrett and Nikolic with the rebound. An unsportsmanlike foul has been called by Vasquez, the Puerto Rican referee, on Brooks. So 2 free throws and possession. And I'm not sure if it's a hold, an unnecessary hold. Oh, well, I guess he's a little unnecessary contact is what the ruling was against Dragic, who, to be honest, knows how to draw fouls like that.
I think officials are really trying to...
No. I saw it. It wasn't that.
I think officials trying to get an early control of action here.
Prepelic hands it off. Doncic looks over at the referee. And the pass goes off the hands of R.J. Barrett.
3 seconds on the shot clock.
Prepelic stepped out of bounds. That's an interesting attempt. So at least they got to the free throw line because of the unsportsmanlike foul, but Canada minimized the damage.
So this is a good sign for Slovenia with Blazic in the game. He's been such a key part of this national team success through the years.
Well, it's a good sign that Blazic is playing. And there's Brooks for 3. These guys are juiced. They're ready for this game. Look at this. Doncic. Over to Dragic.
Luka attracts so much attention, made a beautiful skip pass, can make every pass on the floor.
Jaka Blazic with the foul on Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Slovenia do play physical basketball. They get right on you.
And this is a great challenge for Blazic. He's an outstanding perimeter defender, really working hard to contain Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Olenek. The big question coming into this game for Slovenia is the supporting cast good enough to help Doncic and co get there. Now a chance to run for Canada. Shea avoids the foul, back to Brooks. Here's Olenek again, open, and this time he nails it.
Really good ball movement there in transition. Shea gets into paint, they swing it. Trailer, Olenek buries the three. That's what he does.
Offensive foul on Doncic. Look at the left of your screen.
Luka hooked his arms, but he's dealing with Dylan Brooks in his body every possession. Got to keep his composure and keep playing.
RJ Barrett goes right at Doncic, scores, and Canada go in front. And the shoe comes off of Powell, his right foot. So they're going to take time here while he gets his shoe back on. Doncic gets in and tries to get to the line for an and one. So, what do you think Doncic is saying to the refs here?
Well, he's obviously getting hammered. You see the reach, the slap. He's getting hit by three players on the same play. Again, that's the defensive game plan to stop Doncic.
Well, look at the heat map for Luka Doncic when he's on court with the basketball really red. That's where he has it, 4.2 seconds time per touch, which is far more than the average for the guards.
Yeah, he's a playmaker. He holds onto the ball a long time. He can make passes when he attacks the rotating defenders, but you see he'll handle the ball at the top of the key, and he'll also post up. Again, he's a multi-level scorer, and they really use him in a lot of different ways.
Now, Slovenia can't commit any more fouls, so they're going to put Canada on the line. And that pass intended for Powell. Shot clock about to expire. Shea puts it up, baseline, you can count it.
So good getting to that pull-up jump shot. Again, body control, use the floor space.
Oh, looked like you almost traveled there. Prepelic with the pump fake, passes it over to Blazic. That's good. That's Slovenia basketball.
They draw the switch with Doncic. He attacks, kicks it out, and then they really work well together to create a great shot. Blazic buries it. Good offense, Slovenia.
Blazic trying to stay with Shea. Look at him spinning. Hooping and scooping in the paint. And they can't stop him right now, folks.
No, Blazic is doing his best. That was well defended. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, another big bucket for Canada.
And Dylan Brooks knocking the ball out of Doncic's hands. Already, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has 8 points. Olenek goes out, Lou Dort comes in for Canada. Look at that mobility.
He can get the shots he wants at any time.
Clement Prepelic in the game, so he's a sharpshooter. I'm sure Canada well aware of that. Toby catches it deep, the mismatch. Now Brooks. Oh, over to Dort. Barrett gets deep. And Lou Dort stepped out of bounds.
But you could see the effort of the Canadian team to really work together. They had good floor spacing, penetrate, got into the paint. Unfortunately, Dort spaced the floor with his heels on the sideline.
What time, look at that, Doncic, his expression. When do you think we'll see him sit down? That's the big question.
He's working so hard on both ends of the floor, Jeff.
Prepelic for three, count it! That is about, you know, he is just a shooter.
That's what he does from deep, and he can get hot quickly.
When they won the Eurobasket in 2017, Prepelic hit a lot of big threes. Gilgeous-Alexander missing. So that was a little bit of a heat check for Shea. Here's Doncic, steps back. Not this time. It's a heat check for him as well. So a hold.
And again, when Canada switches these pick and rolls with Doncic, Doncic can get to that step back anytime he wants, but you'd love to see them try to get Mike Tobey established down low. Here he draws the foul on Dort, but he left that one finish early. You'd love to see him go back to him so he could get a feeling for the game.
Chabasic, Jacob Chabasic is in, number 55. And also Gregor Horvath checked into the game. And they turn it over. Nickeil Alexander-Walker in the game just passes to Shea. Here goes Lou Dort from the corner.
Very good transition offense from Canada there. Good spacing from Dort. Paint touch three.
Canada back in front. See Lou Dort averaging 9 points a game. Oh, beautiful bounce pass. What a rejection from Kyle Alexander. But he still got it back. It's interesting, Kyle Alexander and Prepelic were teammates at Valencia. Now they're opposing. Oh, goodness. Chabasic goes down hard. This was a terrific block from Kyle Alexander, but Slovenia stuck with it to go back in front. But here's Kyle Alexander at the line. So Shea goes out and Melvin Ejim comes into the game. Ejim, one of the most experienced Canada internationals, always plays in the windows. Just a real battler, coming off a great season with Unicaja Malaga.
There's more and more Canadian players playing in Europe, playing outside of Canada, the United States. A sign of growing the game within Canada.
Kyle Alexander makes good on the attempts. The switch with Alexander Walker on Doncic. And the foul called.
So Doncic is so strong. He's able to hold defenders off. He gets the leverage on him. And here as he goes in, lots of contact.
I think they could have called that foul a little bit earlier. So look at the drive, the players, the comparison with Shea and Luka Doncic. Shea ranks 4th at 11.0 and Doncic 11th at 9.4.
And that makes sense. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, one-on-one, downhill player, attacking the basket, driving a lot. One of the best at it in the World Cup. Luka likes to play pick and roll, likes to drive, he'll post up. He's got a little more balance to his game.
Barrett gets into the paint, puts it up. Tobey knocks it away. Doncic. So Horvath gets it back. Doncic between the legs, drives in. Well, that's an unusual sight seeing Luka miss it from there.
Yeah, Luka did a great job getting into the paint right at the rim and then decelerating, something he does so well, left it unfinished.
Edgem drives and his attempt rattles out. Demets coming into the game. He was also in that 2017 Eurobasket winning team for Slovenia, number 20. And there, he can't stop Barrett, who just takes it to the rim and really pounds it home.
He just turned the corner and hammered it.
Nikolic also back in. Here's Prepelic. Bear taps it over to Alexander Walker. Canada down quickly. Lou Dort. You can count it.
Jeff, great floor spacing and transition from Canada. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander really understanding the play. Finds Lou Dort, Montreal's finest, buries it.
And Nikolic cleverly gets in. Alexander Walker gets it off just in time, but it's short, so this game is good as advertised. High scoring. And Doncic, well, his team down by a couple. It's Canada 26, Slovenia 24.
Jeff, as you look at the numbers, 5 for 8 from 3 for Slovenia, 4 for 8 for Canada.
Okay, here we go.
You're new, you're an underdog, and you're something you've never been before. A professional. You've made it to this point. Now what? Here's what. You connect with Prudential and start your career by planning for what comes after. So no matter where you are today or 40 years from now, you're ready. Who's your rock? See how Ethan is making the most of this moment at Prudential.com.
If the game's on, you should be at Emerald Queen Casino. Why just watch the game when you can bet, watch, and win at the EQC Sportsbook? Emerald Queen Casino, the betting capital of the Northwest.
How good does it feel when Threshold Decor welcomes more seasonal style for less? When you can save on Good and Gather groceries and all the fall flavors. And when quality ingredients bring more to the table. When you get low prices on the latest trends. When rewards come with quality and coziness. And when you're serving up taste they love at low prices. That's totally Target.
Enjoy your meal.
Thanks, you too.
Question: how do you recover from an awkward exchange?
Hey, don't forget to set your lineup tonight.
ESPN Fantasy Football.
Thank you.
Courtside 1891, Mike is your destination 365 days a year. If you're a basketball fan, which I know you are, and which you always have it on when you're at home.
I'm always searching out new places for great information, especially about World Cup, these national teams. Courtside 1891 is the spot.
Mike Taylor, the former Poland coach, got his team to the quarterfinals of the last FIBA Basketball World Cup. Beside me, and there is Dylan Brooks. Not just defense for Dylan Brooks, he's showing you the complete package tonight.
Yeah, you love his physicality. He's really playing under control on both ends.
Prepelic, even with a hand in his face, was able to knock it down.
And that's a great design of play from Coach Sekulic. Back screen, re-screen, 3. Prepelic is dialed in.
And Gregor Horvat comes out and is called for a foul on Dylan Brooks, I believe. Unless they've called that on Demets. So it is in fact on Giga Demets on Melvin Edgem. But again, that's another example of Slovenia being very physical. Alexander Walker, that's a good looking shot. Three-pointer.
Nice split action for Canada.
Prepelic getting rid of it. He gets it back. Feet set. You can count it again. We got a real shootout going right now. Look at this, the physicality here with Olenek and Giga Demets. And Prepelic, for the second time in a row, knocking down a three. You know, Mike Olenek played at the 2010 FIBA Basketball World Cup in Istanbul for Canada. That's incredible, isn't it?
It is. He's had such a great run in the NBA as well. Played at Gonzaga.
Might end up playing against his college coach as well.
And that would
Mark
be a
Few.
very interesting matchup for those guys, yes. Coach Few, obviously, an assistant with the United States team here at the World Cup.
So Prepelic doing some politicking.
Lou Dort contributing a lot to his Canadian team here early. Very active, hitting shots, defending, now getting to the free throw line. Dort,
Canada back up by 3.
Dort has 8 points in the early going.
Prepelic. His pass intercepted by Brooks. Bounce pass to Edgem, gets it back. Brooks goes up for the dunk. He is fouled by Horvat. Well, Horvat thinks he made a good block. Let's have a look. Great read by Brooks to get the interception, first of all. Nice break. I mean, they're going to call a block. They're going to call the foul, this body.
Yeah, that's a foul.
It's funny. I mean, it's funny how we're at the World Cup. It's not like it's a bunch of Slovenia fans from Slovenia cheering for the Slovenia team tonight and booing this Canada team. These are Filipino fans.
Yeah, they love the NBA here, so they obviously know Brooks' reputation from his time in the NBA, and they definitely buy into that villain. Booing him on every touch.
Bounce pass, good catch. Demets scores with the left hand.
And that's great for Giga Demets. He's a blue-collar guy. He gives you the defense and rebounding, not known for his scoring.
And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander back in the game. He's fouled. Chabacek comes back into the game for Slovenia. And now Luka Doncic is coming back. So it's interesting that Doncic comes in for Prepelic, and I suppose Prepelic is the #1 offensive weapon when Doncic is out of the game. So they want to keep them equally fresh?
Yeah, he needs a quick break, and they'll get him back in to play with Doncic a little bit later. 3-minute break for Doncic.
Canada not able to get any separation yet. Still up by 2. They've led by as many as 4. Oh, and Lou Dort almost turned it over. Good job getting it back. Here's Brooks. Lets the defense fly by. Takes the 3 and is short. And good kick by Alexander Walker. Powell coming back in for Canada.
And again, this is Coach Jordi Fernandez subbing in a 5-man that can switch on to Doncic. Powell switches and now has coverage athletically on the defensive side.
Oh. And the reach, the foul called on Powell.
And you can see as Doncic started to isolate there, Lou Dort, as a second defender, ran the double team. Unfortunately, Powell gets caught with a foul.
Doncic gets it down to the baseline. And again, they've got to be careful. Slovenia, they're going to get a technical.
Well, again, Coach Sekulic is fighting for Luka here. As Luka went up, he wanted a foul call, didn't get it.
Well, we've seen it at the World Cup. They got to get it up quickly. Doncic does, just in the nick of time. And Sebastian gets it back to Doncic, the new 14. Nikolic for three, that's good! Wow! And again, these are the guys that have to step up.
Again, Canada running double teams at Doncic right now. If he can be strong and deliver, he can set his teammates up like that. Nikolic responding, big three.
Alexander Walker with a spin. What a sweet drive. And again, the hand check, the foul on Powell.
And let's look for a second at the officials. Luka Doncic is a very difficult guy to officiate. You see, there's so much contact every play.
I mean, anytime you're reaching,
yeah,
you're vulnerable.
Yeah. And again, you see Luka say, hey, protect me. You got to protect me. They're so physical all the time. This was a great finish from Alexander Walker for Canada.
So we got a timeout on the court. We'll go down to the bench.
Da se ne ukvarjamo s odliki, zdaj umiri se, jasno skomuniciramo z njimi, vi igrajte košarko, okej? Samo zbejte se na košarko. The purpose of this timeout is that we warn everybody again that we don't talk with referees, okay? Odigrajmo tule. Luka, greš po žogu, gremo v ena, shoulder. Se pravi, boš ti. Čebo konar. Ja, ti si vrh. Zokinom dole, okej? Zoki, tečeš, papič. Ajde!
Well, let's look at Gilgeous-Alexander and what he's been doing tonight offensively. Soft touch, getting some space to shoot. He just makes it look so easy.
Yeah, he does. But again, it comes from tremendous work ethic, lots of focus. He's a great worker, very intelligent young man. One of the future stars and current stars for Canada.
He's got the 8 points. And how about Sebastian for the three?
So that's excellent for Slovenia as they load up on Luka. Swing it, consecutive pass. Important to hit those shots.
Dylan Brooks. Here's Doncic. Gets into the paint and gets to the drop.
And again, he's asking for the end one as there's so much contact.
That was his dad cheering him on. Shea takes it deep.
And Jeff, that's just brilliant body control. He got right to the rim and had the body control and touch to finish.
Shea reaches around and commits the foul on Nikolic. Here's Doncic. Nice.
I mean, he can score from perimeter shooting, finishing at the rim, mid-range post-ups, and then, you know, he's just a complete scorer.
Doncic, look how strong he has to be with the basketball. Great defense from Canada, hemming him in, and now Doncic has been teed up. So the contact he wanted to call, and I guess the problem that you have if you're Doncic is you've been talking the whole night, and whether it's legitimate or not, the referees are calling this to try to get him to be quiet a little bit.
Well, again, there's no doubt there's contact on the play, but with every single drive, every single touch, there's physicality and contact with Luka. Now he's got 2 fouls with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. So again, he's dug himself a hole by picking up the technical.
Oh, good play by Brooks to get it back to Shea. Contact, Alexander Walker. Boy, what a sequence for Canada. Tabasser will be another, not this time. RJ Barrett back in, he pushes it quickly. And he gets it up off the glass and in. And Canada go back up by 4, forcing Slovenia to call a timeout.
Again, Slovenia, they controlled the tempo, they controlled the game very well. And now Luka has a meltdown technical foul, allowing Canada to regain the lead. Great timeout here by Coach Sekulic.
Emotional discipline.
Samir. Evo, prve Čeba. Ej, Zoki, igraš ti zdaj ko štirka, okej? Mine, ti si 5. Odigrajmo force side. Slušaj me dobro. Luka, ti organiziraj. Šlo? Okej, slušaj. Igraj force side, ej. Pa igraj, Luka. Okej, dogreš. Force side, se pravi, ti dobiva. Zoki, pas na Zokija, hand off, player, poslušaj me dobro, Luka u hand off, poslušaj dobro, Tine, priješ, slip it, ajde, dale, pogledaj, stavi playera za goleta.
Again, Jeff, that's a paint touch 3. Shea gets to the nail. Nikolic tries to draw the charge. No call. Wide open 3. Timeout Slovenia. Very good timeout. Only a 4-point game. And let's see the next set play here for Slovenia if they'll try to get something inside.
So Alexander Walker has 8 points. Doncic from deep. That's good.
Or outside, Jeff. Doncic rolls right into the 3.
He's got 12 points now, so now a game high.
And we see.
Look at him come up. He read the pass.
Small
Shea
lineups.
on Doncic. Look at the matchup. Oh, the bank is open on the drive. Lou Dort. Now Brooks does the smart play, doesn't settle.
He knows he's got Doncic closing him out with 2 fouls, so he attacked him, finished well at the rim. But both teams have small lineups out right now, 5 out formations at both ends of the floor.
Prepelic missing, but good job. The other Prepelic, Brine, batting it out, and now the kick.
And you can see Doncic passing, cut in one motion. as he had the defender in the air, attacking the closeout.
Doncic fades. Now Shea. Canada up one, goes behind the back, gets to the rim, and he's fouled. So Nikolic, that is his third foul. And really, they have a decision to make. With 3 minutes remaining, they're going to take him out. They're going to bring in Gregor Horvat. Well, yesterday we had two quarterfinals that were pretty decisive, with Serbia beating Lithuania and USA romping over Italy. But today, Latvia just fell short against Germany, and now we've got a tight one between Canada and Slovenia. Look at the drive and the basket by Klemen Prepelic.
Again, they respect his three-point shooting so much, but if you overpressure him, shows he can get right to the rim.
Shea turns. Alexander Walker goes in for the rim rocker.
Again, no rim protection, no size. This is a small ball game. Alexander Walker, right to the rim, hammers it home.
Prepelic drives, passes back to Horvat. They scrap for the basketball. Alexander Walker has it. Now he gets it to Shea, who avoids Horvat, pushes it quickly. Alexander Walker, and Slovenia dodged the bullet. And I thought they were going to call a foul on Prepelic there. Bine Prepelic swinging his arms. Look at this. Lou Dort was, thought he might have been hit in the face, but he was not. Look at that dunk.
That is a finish. Two hands strong to the rim between defenders. That's for the highlight reel, Jeff.
Doncic guarded by Brooks. He spins. He gets away from him. Look at that finish. Just enough English to put it up and in. Saw Peter Vilfan in the house. Won in 1978 this title with Yugoslavia. Here he is back, cheering on his native Slovenia. Of course, he's worked in TV a lot. There's Lou Dort. Good job, Alexander Walker, batting the ball out to Brooks. Oh, great pass back outside to Dort, and the ball gets away. Doncic, oh, and they are calling the block on Alexander Walker.
Again, Doncic so difficult to officiate here. So much contact on every play. He spins through the lane.
Look at the Luka fans. Okay. He's kind of moving, but was he in position?
It seemed like he was moving up and down.
I thought in live action he was set, but shows how tough that is for referees to make that call. So Doncic goes to the line with a chance to put his team back in front. And the question remains, how many minutes can he give his Slovenia team tonight? So Doncic ties it at 50, and another timeout, this one by Canada. So hopefully we'll be able to hear what Jordi Fernandez has to say.
Dwight gets switched on to Doncic. We are back to a hit in the overload only, okay? Shavy here. Nikhil, Dwight, RJ, Dylan, right? Dwight, you pretend like you coming, you go get Nikhil. Nikhil, you're gonna go. RJ, you're gonna cut this way. Shay, you read if you have room here. If not, Nikhil will be open. Swing shot. We start with a driving kick. Keep moving the ball. Trust the pass. When we're switching, we still hit a low man. We gotta keep our men in front. As you go. The whole game, our best is 2 consecutive. We got to.
Well, what'd you think of that timeout, Mike?
Canada was running double teams at Doncic earlier. They're going to just make quick contact on him and stay. They want to make sure they're packing the paint. Even though they're switching screens, they want to establish their help side with a low man. And then they drew up a set play here, emphasizing teamwork and ball movement, which we know has been a key for them throughout this whole World Cup.
Saw the shooting numbers for Doncic against Germany, compared him to Canada. Still a long way to go. And Che got there but didn't miss. Canada bench barking at the refs, wanting a foul.
There's their switch.
Oh, Doncic in overdrive, puts it up and misses the shot. Final 19 seconds. So Shea, Gilgeous-Alexander, and Canada will try to hold it for the last shot.
Ghost.
RJ Barrett gets in and does not score, and Powell almost coming up with a steal. Look at this. Oh my gosh. So what a first half. It is as good as advertised. Excitement level. Canada looking for the explanations from the refs. It's Canada leading it, or excuse me, it's Canada and Slovenia knotted at 50 at halftime.
Three-point shooting, 10 for 17 from Slovenia, has powered their offense. Again, 71% inside the arc for Canada, outstanding. Teams even, 14 apiece. At rebounds at 4 apiece and turnovers. We have a fantastic competitive game right now. Doncic has delivered 17 points. Prepelic hit threes. Gilgeous-Alexander 13, but again, Alexander Walker has been a critical producing player for this Canada team. 50-50 at the half. Jeff, what a quarterfinal we have here.
Well, you look at key players, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, 13 points, 5 of 6 inside the arc to assist, and Luka Doncic, 17 points, 3 of 8 inside the arc, and he's got 3 assists. And of course, those guys do a lot more than just scoring and offense. They are very active on both ends of the floor, which we'll probably see them all over the highlights here. And Brooks, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists for him.
Along with his great defense against Doncic, he's given physical defensive effort for this Canadian team.
Prepelic providing scoring. He's got 11 points. Demet with that opportunity. Every point counts, and he finished at the rim, that left-handed shot. Nichols has the 3 fouls. He hits that shot. He's got 8 points. Alexander Walker had a really good first half.
Yeah, he's been great attacking the rim, being aggressive. There's Doncic with a step through.
There's Luka's dad, and also the Secretary General from Slovenia. Do you feel like Canada needs to do anything differently?
No, I feel like Canada they've got a good defensive game plan. Again, you have Luka with 17. He's worked hard for every single play.
50-50 at halftime, Canada and Slovenia.
Whatever.
It's true, I get to love you. It's a promise I'm making to you. Whatever may come, your heart I will choose. Remember this moment with me. Every kiss begins with K.
Eat pretzels. Eat more pretzels. Watch movies. Watch more movies. Get airline miles. Get 1 key cash. Book in-app to earn 1 key cash on top of your airline miles.
Hercule Poirot, come with me to a seance.
Detective, you are here to discredit me, but I can talk to the dead.
Mom, what is happening?
Somebody has been murdered. A ghost killed her. One of you is the killer. No one shall leave until I find her. If the living have been killed by the dead.
You were saying?
A Haunting in Venice with a PG-13. Get tickets now.
How good does it feel when Threshold Decor welcomes more seasonal style for less? When you can save on Good and Gather groceries and all the fall flavors. And when quality ingredients bring more to the table. When you get low prices on the latest trends. When rewards come with quality and coziness. And when you're serving up taste they love at low prices, that's totally Target.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it. We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
To shave or not to shave? Shave. It's true. To shave or not to shave? That.
Vaping was just constantly veering me towards destruction.
It affected my schoolwork,
My will to be healthy.
my self-worth. I was so addicted.
It took control of me. It leaves you with nothing.
Enjoy your meal.
Thanks, you too.
Question: how do you recover from an awkward exchange?
Hey, don't forget to set your lineup tonight.
ESPN Fantasy Football.
Thank you.
I've got home internet from T-Mobile. It only costs $50 at T-Mobile. Just one cord to set up. Say goodbye to that truck. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. They won't raise your rates at T-Mobile. You'll get a great deal every day.
Home internet from T-Mobile, just $50 a month.
Rated everyone.
Play closer, closer to Curve, closer to Grealish. Play closer to these icons. EA Sports FC 24. Play closer on PS5.
PlayStation.
Hello, welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order, please? Quarter pounder with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
I haven't had a Big Mac in a long time.
How many filet-o-fishes did you eat? That's over several months, Ryan.
In Puerto Rico, a McFlurry, it's called a Señor Flurry.
2 golden menus.
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
McDonald's. They're McDonald's. I'm McDowell's.
Are you gonna order something?
Okay, here we go.
You're new. You're an underdog. And you're something you've never been before. A professional. You've made it to this point. Now what? Here's what. You connect with Prudential and start your career by planning for what comes after. So no matter where you are today or 40 years from now, you're ready. Who's your rock? See how Ethan is making the most of this moment at Prudential.com.
Your first home sees a lot of firsts. From first loves to first steps. Sure, it can be a handful at times, keeping you up at night.
Come on now.
But with help from the Home Depot, you'll find the confidence to create the first place you call your own. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Barkley Feather Ruffles.
Charles, it's barbecue time.
Nah, Chuck's always been a little twisted.
Everybody knows you love cheese, old man. So here's 6. Oh! No!
Ruffles, choose the flavor that speaks to you.
Oh, I can't believe it's true. I get to love you. It's a promise I'm making to you. Whatever may come, your heart I will choose. Remember this moment with me. Every kiss begins with K.
Really made Doncic work. They've got some really good offensive production. You see, led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander there. But again, you know, the question for Slovenia, you know, they're 10 for 17 from 3 in the first half. Can they keep that hot shooting up? And I just have to say that every time Luka Doncic touches the ball, it is so physical out there. They're really making him work to be efficient. So I think if you're Jordy and Canada staff and the Canadian team, you really like where you sit 50-50 at halftime.
The Mall of Asia is where all of the FIBA Basketball World Cup games will be played now from here to the finish. All 3 quarterfinals have been here, and we already know that USA are going to play Germany in one semifinal. USA winning big over Italy, and tonight Germany survived against Latvia, and of course Serbia just were ruthless against Lithuania. After they got in front of them in the first, in the first half, they just pulled away. And whoever wins this game, they are going to find a very tough opponent in Serbia. Here comes Luka Doncic. 17 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds.
But Jeff, the question is, can he get some support from this Slovenian roster? He cannot beat Canada alone. And Canada is really making him work, exhausting him. They're in his face.
Listen to the roar. Well, maybe there won't be a roar.
Fans visiting the concession stand, enjoying the arena, having fun. They're waiting for these last 3 minutes of warm-ups to tick off to see this exciting second half.
The one person who's been quiet offensively for Slovenia that you think would be contributing something would be Mike Tobey.
Yeah, you know, he had the one opportunity mid-lane, left it unfinished. But again, you would expect him to have more of a factor. Both teams played small lineups. They took their bigs off the floor and played a lot of perimeters as there was a lot of switching going on. That was later in the first half. Let's see if that trend continues. But Mike Tobey's been such a key piece to this Slovenia team over the last several years.
I just find it incredible when you look at the talent that's in Canada. And we're just so used to them being like, wow, they really produce basketball players that they've never made to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, you know, they've had some decent runs, you know, a great run when they had Steve Nash, but really they've never been able to put it together. And I believe they will put it together with this core and these players. You know, Jeff, I've had the last 2 summers the opportunity to coach in Canada in the Canadian Elite Basketball League. Absolutely love it. It's the domestic league of Canada. I've been in Vancouver and Winnipeg. Shout out to the Winnipeg Sea Bears. But a couple of these players have CEBL experience and many more ahead.
And Mike, you shouldn't be so humble. You're the coach of the year of the Winnipeg Sea Bears. So congratulations.
Thank you for that. But good people in the city of Winnipeg, good organization, and a great league. A lot of fun.
In the province of Manitoba.
That's right. That's right.
Did you ever think you would live in Manitoba?
I did not, but I enjoyed it a lot. You know, like I said, good people, great arena, great team, and a fun league. But this is a big part of the development of basketball in Canada. And, you know, for me, I see the NBA talent, I see the overseas talent, but it's the grassroots of the game where it's really picking up within the country.
Well, I think really, you know, speaking objectively, international basketball needs a strong Canada. It's wonderful to see them make it this far, and if they keep going, it's going to be exciting. I mean, goodness me, I don't know that it's going to happen, but can you imagine if it did happen? A final between USA and Canada, that would be exciting. Well, here's Jip. What's he looking for?
Jip is doing the robot jump.
That's what you used to do, right? With Ross and Rachel?
That was about my maximum right there, the robot.
You got to teach Nick and Luke that?
They will love it.
I can never figure out who Jip pulls for. Is he pulling for this team or that team? He's always got both flags.
Mike, set a screen. Go backward. Stand. Okay, go back. Look at the jogo. Gremo. Go defense on 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey, let's get some fucking stops, man. Lock the fuck up, man. Hey, Mike, set up red screen and all hard. Okay, attack. Second one. Чуя, визири, говори side 5. Look at it, it's a full almost. Starting 5 začnejo. Ajde. Čuja. Čuja, imaš Brooksa, ti imaš FGI-a na 2. Ajde.
Well, you want to download the app there, scan in the barcode for the FIBA Basketball World Cup app. And you'll have everything right at your fingertips. Second half action is underway between Canada and Slovenia. All knotted at 50, and Lucas' pass intercepted by Shea, who brings it across midcourt. Quick pass to R.J. Barrett, who misses the layup, interestingly. He was right there. Here's Dragic, he gets in. And Toby with takes the rebound and the putback.
What a flurry of action on those first few possessions.
R.J. Barrett drives in. It's like a layup drill for him that time. And Brooks knocking it out of bounds.
Brooks working very hard defensively, guarding Doncic in the post on the perimeter.
Here comes Shea. Gilgeous-Alexander, look at him go. Oh my goodness. Did that really happen?
Well,
he accelerated.
2 Slovenia players tried to stop the break with fouls to no call. Beautiful transition finish from Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Doncic going right at Brooks.
And right now, officials are letting defenders get into Doncic's body on the shot. That's where his frustration is coming from. Brooks going straight up on the baseline.
So Prepelic fouls Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Look at this. This is the play right here. He goes behind his back there. Then he avoids Dragic, who is trying to foul. It was like watching a video game.
Yeah, and let's just say today, officials are letting these guys play.
Oh, look at the spin there from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. R.J. Barrett misses, but Powell gets the rebound. Barrett again. Goes up against Toby. And now Barrett commits the foul, the reach around on Doncic.
And we know Doncic was nursing his elbow after the Germany game, and it looks like he falls on it again.
I mean, I don't think it's too bad. Here's Zoran Dragic, and they get the ball into the hands of Luka. Doncic, good D from Canada. Here's Barrett, open floor. And this time Barrett takes it and makes it. Barrett becoming a little bit more a part of the attack. Big moment here for Slovenia. They don't want to start falling too far behind. They get it to Prepelic. Here's Brooks in the open floor. And gets it back to Barrett, who again spins. Good ball movement, Canada. Shai Gilgeous had Doncic backing up. And Olynyk knocks it back outside to Shai for a new 14. Brooks to the left, knocks down the three, and then blows kisses to the crowd with some interesting words that I won't repeat. And he goes over to the bench, 59-52. Do you like that step to the left?
Well, again, when he steps back, he creates the separation. There's nobody blocking it. He's going to get it off, and that is straight swish for Dillon Brooks, the villain.
Dillon the villain? Is that why they call it?
Dillon the villain.
Stanite samo mirni zdaj. Eksekucija v napadu, eksekucija v offense, okej? 17 minut, ajde. Sada začeo sam. Ajde da iskoristimo mare faule. Dolga tekma, momci, ajde. Gremo. Side chest, okay? Execute. Na moramo let out front. Aredi front. Deal with this. Let's go. Ajde. Stao mirno, ajde.
Wow. You see Brooks jawing at Prepelic when he walked past him? Those two must have had an encounter on the court at some point. There's Brooks. Trying to impose his will on the game. And Shai called for the foul. And an extra whistle as Brooks and Doncic. You think the referees are loading up a technical here at some point?
At some point. You know, easy thing for Canada would do is try to bait Doncic into his second tee and decide the game. A good double technical situation.
Do you think Doncic is fully aware of that?
Yes.
Oh boy, Prepelic throws it up ahead. It turns out to be a pass to Barrett. And he dunks it home. Number 9 looking fine. And the lead is 9. Dragic, big 3 for him. They needed something. Some of the stars sitting in midcourt here in the Philippines. Che gets it in close. Olenek. And 2 free throws. So that's on Prepelic. That's an unfortunate turnover, but Canada were just waiting, and they were off to the races.
Well, let's recognize Canada's defensive effort. They've given an excellent defensive effort in this game. They've really made Luka work, and the rest of the Slovenia team has had to step up. What they've been able to do is hit some shots, but it's a pretty one-dimensional Slovenia attack at this point.
RJ Barrett now actually has 12 points. Olenek has 5. Prepelic steps into a 3 and goes front rim, back rim out. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander fouled as he goes up for the jumper.
And we've seen it the entire World Cup. Referees are protecting the shooting arm.
Well, he got him. He got him on the arm.
He fouled him.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander makes the first.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was able to easily push the ball into the paint. Slovenia's got to stop the ball earlier, contain the ball better in transition.
So he is perfect at the line. 5 of 5, 17 points overall. And Zoran Dragic steps out of bounds. So Gregor Horvat is going to come in for Dragic. And that was a good call. Brother of Goran Dragic sits down. Slovenia just 2 of 8 in this quarter. Canada 5 of 9. Another foul on Vene Prepelic. So any more, they're going to be over the limit.
Well, no, you're right. You're correct. Well, we're all doing it on that way, on your side.
Oh, and Doncic called with a foul on RJ Barrett.
Barrett making a smart play, attacking the long closeout. Takes the contact from Doncic. Again, just creating a foul situation. Doncic now with 3.
Jabasic checks in, and Slovenia in dire need of a spark from someone on offense. They were able to match Canada in the first half offensively, but right now they're being outscored 16 to 5. And Dilla Brooks whistled for the foul. Slovenia do not want this lead to grow anymore. It's 12 points. Doncic gets in, gets a layup, and he misses. Can you believe it? And Toby missed as well. Oh. Gilgeous-Alexander fouled. More free throws coming, and this is going horribly wrong for Slovenia right now. There you go, Mike.
Jeff, at one end, it's just about finishing plays. Doncic is getting exactly where he needs to go. He made a great drive into the lane, pressured the rim, and just didn't finish the play. And then down this end, you're frustrated because there's a foul call. Focus on finishing your plays. There's too much flopping going on right now, Jeff.
Doncic, well, he finished that one from three-point range.
For Slovenia, every play has to go through Luka right now.
But R.J. Barrett, this has been his quarter. And look at that, the super fan from Toronto, Nav Batia. 14 points, the lead. Slovenia need points and stops. Boy, what a pass. And they get the three-pointer from Gregor Horvat.
And that's what we love to see from Luka, making his teammates better. Paint touch three, beautiful delivery and great shot.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for three.
Right back at him. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander responding, leading Canada.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander saves it in bounds and triggers a break. R.J. Barrett goes up and gets a foul called, and now Slovenia flirting with a technical, and I don't know who Luka is looking up at in the crowd. Look at this. Well, it looked like he got him on the arm. RJ's left arm.
Jeff, the Slovenia team is too distracted with officiating.
Yep.
And unfortunately, we see it too many times. Luka is not easy to officiate because he's so physical. Now, can you argue that they should protect a star player more? Obviously, that happens in the NBA, different places. But you have to accept what happens in the game and not waste your energy. Focus your energy on positive things to help you win the next play. Slovenia at this point is too distracted, and the result is a 27-11 third quarter.
Well, R.J. Barrett has just dominated in the third quarter. He now goes to the bench with 19 points and 6 rebounds. Gregor Horvat, Chabashik for three. And Powell rebounds the miss. Oh, and Žiga Dimec looks at the ref to say, hey, he's flopping, and the ref agreed. And traveling on Shai, a rare turnover for Canada's star here.
And this is a challenging time for the officials to control the action. Good flop warning assigned there.
So they walked over to the bench to tell Fernandez that Powell had been warned of a flop. But Canada right now cruising. Prepelic, oh, what a finish. And he gets the foul called as well. That's a huge shot, especially if he can make the free throw.
And again, attacking the switch. Great left-hand finish here. Powell over pressures.
You might remember, if you watched Slovenia play at the Olympics, that Prepelic went in for the winning layup against France in the semifinals and had it blocked by Nick Batum, had it pinned on the board.
Well, he's been a key player, three-point threat for this national team for several years. He's an outstanding scorer.
Alexander Walker for three. Wow, he is. I mean, Canada, we're just seeing the best out of multiple players. Terrific rebound, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Lou Dort. 11 and a half minutes remaining. And this time, Doncic is able to finish. But Kyle Alexander is going to come in for Canada. Doncic has 22 points.
But he has had to work. You see, look at a great change of speed. Steps by, changes the release point and finishes. He's had to work so hard. Dylan Brooks at the point of attack, being physical, guarding him 94 feet. Canada defense has targeted Luka and done a great job executing their team D.
And the charge called on Lou Dort. I mean, Canada, Slovenia can't afford, if you look at the replay, they can't afford to take Luka out of the game, can they?
No, they have to play through him right now. This is Luka's time.
Final minute, the third quarter. Doncic, a long three. You are kidding me! He's got 25!
And again, he's selecting which matchup he wants. They're running several teammates at him. He went after Kyle Alexander and buried the three. They are targeting matchups on the offensive end.
Shea tries to answer, he does not. And a chance again, and a foul called on Brooks. Slovenia appealing for an unsportsmanlike. Watch this. I mean, he's going for the ball. It's Prepelic kind of swings his left arm.
Yeah, they hooked arms inadvertently. Most important for Prepelic to make these two shots, get it under 10.
The downside of pushing it and getting the break there is that, well, Canada could end up with the last possession. So Doncic will sit down here, which is the wise thing to do on this last possession.
Yes,
Prepelic with 15.
They need Doncic at his best in the last 10 minutes.
That was almost a line drive. So it's back to single digits and some hope for Slovenia. Alexander comes out, and Canada knows as well as anybody that you can be trailing by a hefty margin going to the fourth quarter and come back and win, because that's what they did against Spain.
And in this late clock possession, you can look for Gilgeous-Alexander, 1-4 flat isolation, but they can pick and pop Olynyk.
Well, here he is, the pick. And he tried to pop. And there's Olynyk. They don't want to give him space. And good defense in the end. Olynyk kind of fading away. And Luka Doncic, you just feel like that last three-pointer really ignited them. And then the free throws from Prepelic. It's Canada leading it, though, 80-71 at the end of three. And also download Courtside 1891. So you can watch this amazing World Cup, all the FIBA windows and competitions, BCL, Basketball Champions League leagues from anywhere around the globe. So courtside 1891, the home of FIBA live streaming. Watch games from anywhere. Luka is down on the bench. How long will he stay? Zoran Dragic is back in. And this is where Slovenia will perhaps up the physicality a little bit. Olenek chases it down. Alexander Walker, shot clock winding down. And right at the end of the shot clock, Dimets is whistled for the foul.
Especially at the end of a shot clock in a scramble situation, you have to have smart pressure.
Look at that. Goodness me, is that Jimmy Goldstein? The Lakers superfan?
He's enjoying the game, watching some Canadian NBA players.
You gonna meet him while he's here? Look at this, the pass. Oh, goodness. R.J. Barrett once again. And the whistle was, well, we had said the third quarter belonged to him. We might as well go ahead and say the second half belongs to him. A little bit of thunder on that, a little bit of anger.
Yeah, great backdoor
cut. How dare
cut.
you try to guard me?
Great pass from Olenek, great backdoor cut from Barrett, finishing through contact. Canada.
I'm just glad he left Duke after 1 year.
Ha! He's trying to help Canada assert themselves here in the early fourth.
Back to a 12-point lead. Prepelic on target. Nope. Canada push it again. And Dimets. Oh boy, that's dangerous. And they say the foul was before the layup. Jordi Fernandez thinking that maybe he would get to the line for a three-point play. Surely Sekulic has to get Doncic in now. It's just a different feel. Okay, so he is back in the game. Here's Lou Dort. Jay with the pass to R.J. Barrett. And this time he travels.
Canada is really working together. The ball movement today.
It's Nikolic, Prepelic, Horvat, Žiga Dimec, and Luka Doncic. That's Clement Prepelic. Bine Prepelic is on the bench. Doncic, and looking for a foul to be called on Olenek, but they're not going to get that in this game. And R.J. Barrett goes down and scores. Alexei Nikolic, oh, and what a steal from Alexander Walker. He goes the other way. And Shea takes the bump. And now a technical foul, Gregor Horvat. Look at this play. Well, that's a foul. And then by arguing, they complicate things by getting a technical. Gilgeous Alexander misses the first.
So again, a slow start to the third quarter, now a slow start to the fourth quarter. We've got to give credit to Canada for the way they're executing and playing. Slovenia, high hopes, big goals. Just a little bit of a disappointing showing here, wasting some energy, complaining about calls. instead of focusing all their energy on production.
Prepelic gets the foul from Olenek. Here it is again. Whenever Prepelic feels the contact, in that situation, you know he's going to put it up. Remember against Poland last year, at the end of that game in the quarterfinal, they drew up a play for him to try to get the contact and to attempt the three-pointer before he got the midcourt.
Right, and in that case, it turned out to be a quick decision on his part. But here, he's rewarded with the 3 free throws. And again, Slovenia had this under 10. And there's plenty of time if they can focus their energy on the right things. Get your defensive stops and execute for good shots on the offensive end. Play through Luka to maximize every possession.
And Zoran Dragic called for the push.
Jeff, the one thing I respect about Luka Doncic is he gives up his body. He plays so physical. Here he is trying to draw the charge, takes the contact strong. Foul called on Zoran Dragic from behind.
So Ludort goes out. And the only good thing here is that the clock stops, but it allows Shea to go to the line and take free throws.
And that's what he does in the NBA, get to the free throw line.
13 points in the first half, 13 points in the second half. And bad turnover for Slovenia. You go back and you remember how they played on that run. There's a super fan again, Nav Batia. How they went on the run to the Olympics in Tokyo, and they were just almost unbeatable. But again, they had a couple other more players. Alexander Walker, and they turn it over. Good pass. Toby was playing terrific at that time when they played your Poland team.
I mean, they were really clicking, but again, that Goran Dragic and different players on that team.
Brooks puts it up from deep. Then he has words with Prepelic.
Hey, Jeff, it's just too easy for Canada and too hard for Slovenia.
(92-76), 7 minutes remaining. That is Brooks, and he is not just a defender, folks. He has been contributing across the board tonight. He's got 14 points. 4 players in double digits.
Possession, 40 minutes. We have 7 minutes. It's enough time to go. Possession by possession, defense by defense. We need to work hard on defense now. Work hard. Let's go. Listen to me now carefully. Now we go back to zone. After, listen to me very carefully. After 2 passes, we go man to man, okay? Hey, rebound the ball, control the game. Go. Hey. Stanemo skupaj, kam hoćete?
Well, so Dylan Brooks has indeed been disqualified. They did catch him mouthing off at Prepelic there, so that is it for him, and that's not good for him.
No, he has given a fantastic effort defensively, offensively.
That's what the Slovenia players were complaining about. So Doncic goes to the line and makes the free throw. It's emotional discipline. Okay, you could say, well, Canada are going to win this game. It's a 15-point game.
And this gives Slovenia an opportunity or some life, but there's still a lot of work to do. Canada has played extremely well.
Here goes Luka Doncic driving, bumped, passes it back outside. And the foul on Dort.
Again, this is competing for every inch on the floor. Dort, outstanding defender.
Here's Prepelic for three. Oh, it went in and out. But then the ball goes off the hands of Dort. Doncic gets in the paint, puts it up, goes down, hoping for a foul, and now he's been teed up and he's gone. And this referee, unfortunately, is going to be the most unpopular person in the Mall of Asia right now, because this is going to be it for Luka Doncic. But Luka Doncic, just like Dylan Brooks, has to be careful. He has to know the situation. You can't risk it.
Jeff, just so hard to watch. One of your superstar players, in many ways a face of FIBA player.
I think he knows. He's frustrated. He's frustrated, but, you know, it's emotional discipline. It's what we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
And you basically just, your team now is without its biggest weapon.
Well, now both Dylan Brooks and Luka Doncic are out. We've got 6 minutes to play. Big lead for Canada. This game is right where Canada wants it to be. Now they've got to just execute and finish it.
Here's Olenek. Hasn't played as much as we would have thought tonight, but misses that one. And here goes Prepelic, and tries to hand it off to Toby. It goes off of his leg. Well, Prepelic, it's probably been the biggest issue for Slovenia is, as you've alluded to, it's talking to the refs.
Yeah.
Just focus on the game. It's kind of a continuation of what we saw last year at the Eurobasket. It kind of undermined them in the end. There's Toby. And that was not a good-looking shot. Just hasn't been the same tonight, certainly. Here's Alexander Walker. The cousin of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Both those guys having a great game tonight. So Alexander Walker goes to the line. And Prepelic. But this team down 16 with 5:48 to go. And it's going to take something, what would you say, catastrophic for Canada not to close this thing out?
Canada will not let this one get away. They've got to maintain their composure. They've got to execute. Canada now 25 for 28 from the free throw line for the game.
And they've been excellent. Goran Dragic drives in, and the foul called on Olenek. Olenek's played 20 minutes, 5 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds.
This has been a guards game. The ball in the hand of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. On the other side, Luka Doncic. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 27 points at this point. And I'm sure he'll be the driving force leading winning time for Canada.
Five and a half minutes to go. I think once you see that clock dip under 5, that's when it really starts to sink in that it's not going to happen. Look at this. Again, the Powell, he has it knocked away. Well, you never know. Slovenia will not go down without giving their best here down the stretch. Here's Prepelic for 3. That's good. That's when a missed layup is a good missed layup. You get a 3-pointer.
Well, they did a great job with the ball ahead. Zoran right to the rim. Again, we've seen them miss so many plays at the rim today. And as you say, very fortunate to bounce back with a rebound and a 3.
RJ Barrett spins, turns, puts it up, and Powell, what a terrific rebound, but the ball goes to Horvat. He might just go all the way. And he puts it up and in. Now it's an 11-point game, and Jordi Fernandez needs to call a timeout. And Jordi Fernandez having words with the ref.
Good timeout here from Jordi.
Great finish by Horvat. And look at that. He beats the chest. If he just leaves his hand there and says Puso, that's like the compliment in the Philippines, but he's not doing that.
Keep moving the ball. All right. Nikhil, stay on 7 for Pelic, okay? He's the one they're going to go to. A lot of going down and the down action coming back. Really talking to DHOs. If you get switched on him, stay on him and stay close.
Dwight, Shai, bring the ball here. RJ, Nikhil, and Luke, all right? We go RJ, run and slip. Shai, if you have good, if you throw it to RJ on your horse here to flip it. Shai, stay space because they may hug on you. And RJ, you can go left.
Consecutive again, one back. Stop, defense on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Is it fair to say that Canada have looked a little shaky in the last minute?
Yeah, the turnovers gave Slovenia some life. We haven't seen Slovenia get out in transition much in the game, and these were 2 opportunities for them. But again, you've got tremendous confidence in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Canadian backcourt to control the tempo and get what they need done. Slovenia in a 2-3 zone.
Well, don't forget you got Nikolic and Horvat both in the game right now for Slovenia. Each has 4 fouls. RJ Barrett steps back, puts it up, and doesn't make it. Here comes Prepelic. He gets it over to, oh, look at that, Horvat goes in. Oh, he scores! There's life for Slovenia. It's a 9-point game. And there's no Luka Doncic either. He's watching from the locker room. His exit seems to have fired everybody up in that Slovenia team. Alexander Walker drives and, oh, the block. And that is it. Horvat is gone. So they've lost him. And now the question is, who replaces him? You know, we haven't seen Giga Samar come in, the point guard, and you're wondering if he might come into the game. Maybe Chabasic. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Who are they going to bring in? Oh, they're going to bring Blazic in. And if he's not 100%, look at Gregor Horvat. Frustrated to leave because he's really bringing the energy. I just wonder if Blazic is the right choice here if he's not 100% fit.
Wow, he had a pretty thick brace wrapped around him under his shooting shirt on the bench, so he's 100% not fit, Jeff.
And if this is the guy, if he's fit, this is absolutely the guy you want to put in.
That's right, but they're going with a veteran player, somebody that they trust, who's been through the battles with him. But again, we talked about the accurate free throw shooting from Canada.
You know what that is?
That's the commentators' jinx. They are now 25 for 29. Let's see if they can get to 26 for 30.
Alexander Walker had a great game tonight. Misses both. This is crazy. Canada wobbling a little bit here at the end. They've looked so good pretty much for 40 minutes, or for the first 35 minutes. Alexei Nikolic for three, and it doesn't drop, but the rebound for Zoran Dragic. Prepelic for three. I think that would have brought the house down if he'd made it.
Yeah, great rebound from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as well, controlling the tempo.
Oh, look at that. Good job, Prepelic getting his hand on it. Olenek wide open for three. Oh, rattles out, but RJ Barrett gets the rebound. Valuable seconds ticking off the clock. And Gilgeous-Alexander is fouled by Dragic. In the act of shooting, he banks it in. And one.
This is what you see when you watch OKC one-on-one, drawing the contact, getting to the free throw line, and somehow finding a way to bank it in. And this settles the Canadian bench and Canadian crowd.
I think that's an easy call for the ref because he's reaching around him. And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, again, just increases the contact, just leaning into him a little bit to the right.
Yeah, he does such a great job changing speeds and using his body.
Does not make the free throw, however. Prepelic. To Nikolic. Boy, a lot on the shoulders right now of Prepelic. And RJ Barrett chases down the ball, and it feels like that might have killed the rally. What an eventful night. 2 ejections. Dylan Brooks, Luka Doncic. There's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, short, long rebound. He picks it up. And RJ decides to put it up. He misses. And look who gets the rebound, Alexander. Or Gilgeous-Alexander, and then he is fouled.
Winning plays. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander makes winning plays.
29 points. 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Well, they're giving their all right now, but one of the best players on the court right there. And Prepelic leans over, almost as an act of, "You okay?" acknowledging the greatness that is on the floor. And here he is, increasing the lead back to 12. Oh. Here's Prepelic. Gets it to Toby. Great quick jump from Toby to get the 2. Under 2 minutes remaining. So running out of time, Slovenia. In a zone, Slovenia. Well, here is, and look at that. Powell able to knock the ball. He was not in position, but was able to knock the ball out to the perimeter. Dort. R.J. Barrett. And another batted ball, but this time it goes to Prepelic. Good pass, and Dragic is fouled by Powell, who helps him up.
Good, solid, hard foul. Again, Slovenia struggling to control the defensive boards. They finally get the tip out. Prepelic with a nice pass.
Mike, you know, Canada played those tough games in the build-up, and I think it's really helped them, you know, in the build-up to this.
There's no question. You know, they had outstanding competition in their group. Tough opponents, forced them to be at their best. And
they had to hit the ground running.
Yep, and they got some big wins, and they have really played well here tonight. Started with their great defensive effort on Doncic, team being physical.
You know, they started with that great win over France. Back to a 9-point lead. Slovenia chasing, just trying to force a turnover, but they don't want to foul late in the shot clock. Here goes Barrett, gets it down low, and there's the follow from Olenek. So Canada, the first time ever in the quarterfinals of the FIBA Basketball World Cup, are going to pull off another first here. Unless something dramatic happens, they are going to make it to the semifinals. And the reality is setting in on Slovenia, who have battled tonight. This game has had a little bit of controversy with the ejections, but overall, this Canada team has been good value for their win. They have had their noses in front. R.J. Barrett with 24 points, 9 rebounds.
This is a hard-fought win. Great defense. And great guard play.
So it is a night to cherish for Canada basketball, for international basketball. A tough one for Slovenia to take. You never like to go out in the quarterfinals. They just didn't have quite enough firepower, and when you lose one of the best players in the world to the ejection, it complicates it. 100 to 89. Canada advanced to the semifinals, where they will face Serbia. Luka Doncic comes back out. Dillon Brooks comes back out. And, well, I think Dillon Brooks comes back out.
But, Jeff, if you're Slovenia, you were not the best version of yourself tonight. And on these big stages, you want to be the best you can be.
Best version in terms of?
Style of play, emotion.
Look at the happiness. You know, these guys have heard for so long, why isn't Canada, you know, why aren't they going deep in tournaments? Why is Europe so dominant? Canada has so many players that play at the highest level. Well, guess what? Canada are in the semifinals.
And as we said, this is a team that's similar to the United States, going through the transition, trying to get an NBA-based core familiar with the FIBA game. And credit to them, they've got some big wins along the way, and this was their biggest here tonight in the Mall of Asia Arena over Luka Doncic in Slovenia.
So Luka Doncic hears some cheers as he leaves the court, and you look at the shooting numbers. The free throws, as you talked about, were big, 27 to 33. That'll help Canada down the stretch. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the TCL MVP of the game, he's receiving his trophy right now. Probably could have gone to R.J. Barrett as well, the way he played, especially the second half when they put that game out of reach. But amazing night, amazing day of international basketball here in the Mall of Asia. This is the fourth quarter when we saw R.J. Barrett continue his terrific play in the second half.
Yeah, he's been excellent. Again, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's got a lot of attention in the tournament, but R.J. Barrett, great scoring punch from the wing, three-point shooting, attacking the basket. He had an excellent game. Again, you see the great team defense there from Canada. Look at the easy transition layup from Barrett once again. In general, Canada got easier shots. They really made Slovenia work for their looks. They look at the effort, the physical body slowing down Doncic. Nice pass, but they are having to work so hard throughout the evening, and the physicality.
You think about the teams that this Canada team has beaten. It's impressive. They beat France on opening night, and after whipping Lebanon, they overcame a very good Latvia team that we know now. They beat Brazil, and then, of course, they beat Spain when they were trailing late. They deserve their spot, you know, after beating Slovenia here in the semifinals.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Again, they've figured it out, and they've performed extremely well. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander leading the way. Physical defensive effort from Brooks before being ejected.
Tough night for Slovenia. They really played hard, desperate basketball at the end, but it wasn't to be, and all congratulations to Canada. All I can say is it's about time. USA will take on Germany in the semifinals, and Serbia will face Canada. Boy, you got some interesting prospects there for a final. I can think of one particularly in the Americas, but Serbia is going to be a tough nut to crack for Canada, but we've been saying that all along, and they have been getting it done. So you can see the teams that have qualified for the Olympics, because Germany and Serbia are the last two European teams standing. They have qualified for the Olympics. Canada, of course, we're already in, along with USA from the Americas. So a night of double celebration for Canada. And Slovenia, meanwhile, keep their Paris hopes alive. They will be among the teams like Latvia, who joined earlier tonight in the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournaments. Well, with Luka Doncic, you've always got a chance if you're Slovenia, and they played like it. It was tied at halftime. Ultimately, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Dylan Brooks, R.J. Barrett and co. Too much firepower, too much depth. They are in the semifinals.